And it's lit up, too. Like, they're going to turn it off somewhat time. You're down in the back of the plane with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. You're going to shut that light off. Get the party going. The fasten seatbelt light, that one makes sense. The pilot controls that, right? Once you get to cruising altitude, it turns off the fasten seatbelt light. That's your cue. That means you can take your seatbelt off and walk around the plane, use the washroom, and recline. Isn't that the best when you can recline? There's a little button on your arm. Right? And your chair goes from here to here. Isn't that nice? Woo! Thank God. I was really uncomfortable in this position. But here, hello! It's like I'm in a hammock. Good.
Looking for my soulmate. Looking for my soulmate, Father. I love her. Take a piece. My soulmate has one requirement. She cannot love Barry White. He lays like Barry White, cup hands like Barry White, cup hands. That's enough. Stop. Thank you.
I gave him a bit of a look. He looks at me and goes, "What? You think you're better than me?" I said, "I believe I'm doing better than you." It's just different, right? You gotta get used to stuff. Some weird little thing. In Toronto, they order pizza by the whole and eat it sober. He's always good head checker. The more time you spend in Toronto, the more Toronto-ish you become, you know? I was there for a long stint, and then went back to St. John's. I went into the coffee shop. I said to the kid, I said, "Excuse me, do you do a latte?" And he said, "No. Do you do other fellas in the rear?" I said, all right, rum and coke.
I feel like I'm getting dumber. Anyone else getting dumber as they go along here? Yeah, one guy. Dumb enough to admit it. I love that. All right. The only the problem is the spell check on the computer, right? Because now whenever I got to write anything out by hand, I've forgotten how to spell. So I got to edit what I say for easier words to spell. Is anyone else going through this? Like, thank you very much for your recent invitation. I was ecstatic, happy that you thought of me. When I received, got your mail. I immediately, soon was happy, good man, love Roman. Good enough. That's a good idea. And is anyone else using the same password for pretty much everything? I got so tired with having to come up with new passwords all the time. I get angry, so I'd come up with things like, like screw you, Royal Bank. It's really fun until you got to call tech support, and they're like, "Oh, what's your password?" It's screw you, Royal Bank. S is in silly. C is in crazy guy. R is in regret. I do like that thing where you got to give a word that the letter starts with so they know what the letter is. That's a lot of fun. You can have a lot of fun with that. And what's my username? Oh, my username, it's, let's see, it's K as in night, P as in phase, T as in tsunami, G as in gnome, and M as in that feeling you get when you eat a pea.
The stewardess comes over because we hit some turbulence. The pilot turns on the fasten seatbelt light. She says, "Sir, you have to put your seat in the upright position. The fasten seatbelt light's on." For real? Everybody okay? Thank God you came over. I wouldn't want to endanger anybody in this horribly dangerous position here. Oh my God, what's going to happen? I'm totally kidding. Oh, I'm a madman. Oh, you can't stop me. Look, I'm the world's lamest terrorist. You can't. I'm totally kidding. There's a guy in front of me. He's got a middle seat too, right? But when he reclined, his head went from here to here. Can you imagine? I got this guy, and this guy to deal with. How's it going? No, it's fine. Ooh, it's in your ears. Little head cold.
Mr. Harper believes that safety is not compromised. I strongly disagree.
If a fire breaks out near your town, who will respond? Some volunteers say they're not equipped.
The Great Divide comes down to show you what the overpass looks like after a day of destruction.
Laid to rest for the second time, stolen bodies make the long journey to Labrador.
Another January day for most along the northeast coast anyway, but high pressure, sunshine, and warmer temperatures are slowly creeping in. The details are coming up.
Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. I'm Debbie Cooper.
And I'm David Cochran. That happy moment when Kathy Dunderdale put her support behind Stephen Harper in the recent election, that's but a memory tonight. Harper has slammed the door on Dunderdale's plea to keep the Maritime Rescue Subcenter open in St. John's. Tonight, the Premier says she's disappointed, but will keep trying. The opposition claims she should have known better. Here now's Glenn Deere joins us live. Glenn.
Premier Dunderdale spoke with the Prime Minister for 15 minutes on the phone yesterday evening, but he absolutely refused to change his mind about the rescue center.
Let me begin by saying that Prime Minister have a serious disagreement.
The Premier says the Prime Minister is convinced that closing the rescue center will not compromise safety.
It is very frustrating.
She's told key cabinet ministers to bring it up with their federal counterparts every time they can.
This isn't the end of it. I clearly understands my position, and that I strongly disagree with this. There is nothing more important in this province.
This tenure has been added a loop because they're not serious a pilot. It started when the Premier stood on that stage with the Prime Minister during the election campaign.
Has been weak, and that's the reason Newfoundlanders and Labradorians are going to feel a major touch like this in the province.
The Liberals say they warned Kathy Dunderdale not to get too close to Stephen Harper.